Exercise 6, Defining Time Slices. In this exercise, we are going to use the same base topology. Our tasks will be to first enable the time slice class in the config. For each of these objects, we will set include equal to yes, and we will define the patterns that we see in this diagram. Then we will replace the time slice field of the region load property with these new time slice objects. Then we can execute the base model and take a look at the results. We recommend that you pause the video at this time and go through these steps on your own, and then we can go through them together. To include time slices in our system, the first thing we have to do is enable the time slice class in the config. So we go to the config in the ribbon menu. In the config, we then have to enable the time slice class. So we scroll down and select the time slice class. Once we have selected this, it will automatically bring in the include property on the right-hand side. And on the right-hand side, this shows all of the classes and properties that are enabled in our system. And click OK. In our system, we see that we now have the time slice class. And we've already created here the time slice objects. But to do this, you would right-click and go to New Time Slice. You could then enter in the name of the time slice and click OK. Once you have created your time slice object, you then have to define it. In this case, we have 3 time slice objects, off-peak 1, off-peak 2, and peak. We have set the include property to be the value of yes, and then we have defined the pattern as we have in that diagram. The next thing that we have to do is apply the time slice. So we go to the region A object, and we can see in the property grid that we have these load values. Previously, we had H1 through 8 in the time slice field, but now we're able to go to the drop-down and choose one of our time slice objects that we've created. They should be filled in like this. We can then go to the Simulation tab and execute our base model. When the optimization completes, we can then open the solution by going to Base, right-click, and Open Solution. And the base model solution results will open in another tab. For this exercise, I am just going to check to see that the load has come in as we expected. So I will go to Region, I will go to Interval Period Type, and I will go to Load. And then I will select Execute. And here I can see in these results that the 480 applies for the first hours of the day, the first 8 hours of the day. So here I can see that the 480 megawatts has been applied for the first 8 hours of the day. And we can sort of double check that if we don't want to count up by seeing the count at the bottom here. So I know that my time slices have been applied correctly. In review, time slices are a class that can be enabled in the config. Once a time slice object is created, a time pattern can be defined on it. Then a time slice can be applied to a property value.